The monster that killed the pharaoh. The terrifying truth behind the Sphinx. Do you want to know more about the most mysterious and dangerous monsters in human history? Some of these beasts are real, while others only exist in legends and myths. So let's get started. Number 13, the Sphinx. The Sphinx is one of the most well-known monsters in world history, and it has been depicted in many works of art and literature. It was a creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human, typically depicted as a female. But where did this terrifying beast come from? The origins of the Sphinx can be traced back to ancient Egypt. According to Egyptian mythology, the Sphinx was created by the goddess Nephthys, and it served as a guardian of the pharaohs and their tombs. In fact, there is evidence to suggest that the Great Sphinx of Giza, located near the pyramids, was built in honor of the pharaoh Khafra. But why exactly does the goddess turn into a terrifying creature? There are several theories about this. One theory suggests that the Sphinx was created as a physical manifestation of the pharaoh's own power and authority. Another theory suggests that it was meant to represent the union between the human and animal worlds. Whatever the true reason may be, one thing is certain: the Sphinx is a powerful symbol of ancient Egyptian culture, and its legacy lives on today. Number 12. The Mentor. The Mentor is an ancient creature that appears in Greek mythology. It is described as a terrifying monster with the head of a lion, wings, the body of a snake, and multiple heads. The Mentor lived in a cave in a remote part of Greece, and its roars were said to shake the very foundations of the mountains. Its name comes from the Greek word manteia, which means prophecy or soothsaying, and it is said that those who heard its roar would go insane. But why is this beast so terrifying? Well, for starters, it had the head of a lion, which is already pretty scary. But to top it off, it also had wings and the body of a snake. This combination of different animals into one creature is unsettling, to say the least. And the fact that it lived in a cave and made a habit of roaring so that people would go crazy just adds to its creepiness. If you ever find yourself in a dark cave and hear a loud roar, better run, because it could be a mentor. Number 11, Cerberus. Now let's talk about another terrifying monster that hails from Greek mythology, Cerberus. This three-headed dog was the guardian of the underworld, and no one could enter the realm of the dead without first facing him. Imagine you've just died and you're on your way to the underworld. You've got all your affairs in order, you played by the rules, and now you're expecting to finally catch a break. But then out pops Cerberus, this massive three-headed dog who's just lying around doing nothing. He's not even trying to hide. You see, unlike other monsters, Cerberus wasn't lurking in some dark corner waiting to pounce. No, he was right out in the open, and he didn't even try to hide his face behind a mask. Instead, he just laid there staring at you with his 3 pairs of soulless eyes. And if that wasn't enough, he also had snakes for tails. To make matters worse, Cerberus wasn't just lazy, he was also hungry, and he wasn't afraid to show it. His 3 mouths were always gaping open, drooling, and ready to devour anyone who crossed his path. So you better watch out, because Cerberus might be guarding the gates of the underworld, but he's not afraid to pay you a visit in the land of the living. Number 10, Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl is a feathered serpent deity that is widely revered in Mesoamerican cultures such as the Aztecs. According to their beliefs, the Quetzalcoatl was a bringer of knowledge and civilization, who descended from the heavens to teach humans important skills such as agriculture, architecture, and the use of tools. However, despite being a revered deity, the Quetzalcoatl was also seen as a terrifying monster by some. This is because the Aztecs believed that the end of the world would be marked by the return of the Quetzalcoatl in its monstrous form. The feathered serpent would then engage in a battle with the god of the underworld, Mictlantecutli, and the outcome of this battle would determine the fate of the world. The legend goes that the 2 gods fought for 4 days and 4 nights, and it was so intense that the earth shook and the heavens trembled. Ultimately, Quetzalcoatl emerged victorious, but at a great cost. He was wounded and covered in the blood of his enemies, which is why he retreated to the west, never to return again. 9. Leviathan. The Leviathan is a sea monster that is mentioned in the Hebrew Bible and is often depicted as a whale or a crocodile. In the book of Job, it is described as a terrifying beast that cannot be restrained, symbolizing chaos and evil. The image of the Leviathan became a common motif in Jewish, Christian, and Muslim art, often representing the forces of evil that ultimately triumphed over by God. But the Leviathan is not just a religious symbol. It has also inspired many works of art and literature, including Dante's epic poem, The Divine Comedy, and John Milton's Paradise Lost. In these works, the Leviathan is used as a metaphor for the great sins of humanity, such as pride and lust. But what makes the Leviathan such a compelling monster is its sheer size and power. It is described as being so huge that it cannot be captured or controlled, making it a truly terrifying creature to behold. Number 8. Basilisk. The basilisk is a legendary creature that has been featured in medieval bestiaries and folklore. These texts describe it as a serpent-like monster that can grow up to 18 feet in length and possesses a deadly stare that can turn humans to stone. Despite its terrifying reputation, the basilisk is often depicted as a symbol of good and courage, particularly in works by William Blake and the Marquis de Sade. The legend of the basilisk dates back to ancient Greece, where it was known as the King of Serpents. It was believed to live in a desert island, and its venom was so powerful that even the mythical hero Perseus was afraid to confront it. Eventually, Perseus did slay the basilisk, but only after using a bronze shield to protect himself from its gaze. Number 7. Griffin. The griffin is a legendary creature that has been featured in many cultures throughout history. It is typically depicted as a creature with the body of a lion and the head and wings of an eagle. The griffin was often seen as a symbol of strength and power, and it was frequently used as a heraldic beast on the coats of arms of kings and queens. In Greek mythology, the griffin was said to have been created when a female eagle laid an egg on a lion's den. When the lioness found the egg, she took it under her own wing and raised it as her own cub. As a result, the griffin inherited the fierceness of the lion and the majesty of the eagle. Number 6. The Scylla. Scylla is a terrifying monster from Greek mythology that is known for her many mouths and voracious appetite for sailors. She lives beneath the sea and has 6 heads, each equipped with rows of sharp teeth and a hypnotic tongue. Her appearance is so frightening that sailors who encounter her are often paralyzed with fear and unable to escape her clutches. But the scariest part of Scylla is perhaps her insatiable hunger. She feeds on the flesh of sailors and fishermen, and she is so powerful that she can drag them down into the depths of the sea with ease. In fact, she is said to have devoured entire ships full of sailors, leaving nothing but splinters and bones behind. No. 5. The Chimera. The Chimera is a legendary creature that is said to have been born from the blood of a slain titan. It is depicted as a terrifying beast with the head of a lion and the bodies of a goat and a snake. The Chimera is known for its immense size and strength, as well as its ability to breathe fire. In Greek mythology, the Chimera was slain by the hero Bellerophon, who rode a winged horse named Pegasus and used a spear to strike the fatal blow. The carcass of the Chimera is said to have floated down to earth and fallen into a river, where it polluted the water supply of a nearby town. The townspeople became sick, and the Oracle of Delphi declared that only the descendants of Apollo could save them. Apollo sent his son Asclepius to heal the townspeople, and he is considered the father of medicine. Number 4. Tarrasque. The Tarrasque is a terrifying monster that is said to have lived in the mountains of a region called Narbonensis. It is described as a massive, reptile-like creature with scales that were so thick they were impervious to arrows. The Tarasque's claws were said to be strong enough to tear apart trees and rocks, and it had the ability to regenerate lost limbs. The monster was eventually slain by the Roman general Julius Caesar, who is said to have stabbed it with a sword until it bled to death. And 3. The Hydra. The Hydra is a terrifying monster that is said to have lived in a lake near the city of Lerna in Greece. It is depicted as a multi-headed serpent that was almost impossible to kill. For every head that was cut off, 2 new ones would grow back in its place. The hero Heracles was tasked with slaying the Hydra, but even he struggled to defeat the monster. He eventually managed to kill the Hydra by cauterizing its wounds with burning resin, which prevented the regrowth of new heads. The Hydra is a symbol of resilience and perseverance, but it is also a reminder of the dangers of hubris and the importance of seeking help when facing seemingly insurmountable odds. Number 2. The Amphisbaena. The Amphisbaena is a fearsome monster from Greek mythology that is said to have lived in Arabia. It is depicted as a serpent with 2 heads, one at each end of its body. The Amphisbaena was known for its venomous bite and its ability to swallow whole its prey. The monster was eventually slain by the hero Perseus, who cut off both of its heads with a single stroke of his sword. Number 1. The monster that killed the pharaoh. The tale of the pharaoh's untimely demise is a chilling one. While his tomb remains undiscovered, rumors persist that he met his end at the paws of a monstrous creature. Some believe it was a lion, while others claim it was a hyena. Could this be the long-lost pharaoh Ramses III, whose reign came to an end nearly 3,000 years ago? The mystery deepens with the discovery of his mummified remains, bearing the marks of a vicious struggle for survival. His chest bore the scars of ferocious claw marks, indicating a violent confrontation before his eventual succumbing. But the identity of his attacker remains elusive, lost to the sands of time. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like these. See you next time. Bye.